pleasant good evening and welcome to From Our Hearts with Rodika and Ken right here on Island Zone Radio. You know, we took a break off the radio because the radio was not working properly. But guess what? We came back looking like stars. I have, oh God, I look handsome today. Next time, God, Cherry, give me living me the suit because I am next to a handsome guy. On my right, Jap Singh out of India. And I gotta tell you, he is no stranger to our community. Jap, I gotta tell you, I am so honored and so proud that we are sitting next to each other here and that we are sharing the same platform tonight. Also, we have the beautiful Miss Guyana, you know what I mean? Rampersaud from Ramola's Fashion. It's good to have you. Welcome. You always look beautiful.
Thank you.
Then guess what? I have brown sugar. One day she turn white sugar after all this time. So, like it's our birthday today, and I'm going to put the mic over to Miss Radhika Olarchi. Go ahead, Radhika.
So, hello everybody. Yes, we are back in action tonight. First time back after a big long summer break. Anyways, it's good to see a few of our viewers already logged on, and we are hoping that more and more of you will, tune in tonight. It's been it's been a long time. I miss you guys, and I'm happy to be back. Happy to connect back again. Ken, I've seen you here and there, but we haven't even gotten time to sit and chat and do some of the projects that we want to do. It's been so busy, everything. I don't know where time goes. Is it time or is it we're getting old? What do you
No,
think?
I'm not getting older. I look good, so don't worry. But
It was your birthday, now my
yeah,
birthday.
but I like white sugar now because I look a little better. I thank God for that. But we need to talk about some serious things. Um,
We'll
Before
go
we
on.
do
We'll
that,
go on.
you
I just want to, yeah.
yeah.
We have here a beautiful Ramola Prasad from Ramola Fashions and a cancer survivor. And she has a lot to talk to us about. Today, one of our topics will be teenage pregnancy. And I have to say, both Ramola and myself are guilty partners in teenage pregnancies. So different stories, but we will touch on that a little bit. First of all, though, we have here Mr. Chutney Singh. I wish I had a daughter and he would become my son-in-law, but I can't get, the time is gone.
You can still try
Science,
something.
science is how it is.
Very handsome. I admire you so much, Japneet, for everything that you're doing. And, you're there for the community, be it the Indo-Caribbean, the West Indian, or the Indian community. You're always there giving a hand. And I wish everybody could give him a round of applause now. And
Also,
yeah.
I don't know why my mic is a little low, but
I also want to say that we have here in the studio tonight the beautiful Sherry Williams
all right.
and our friend Yvonne. They're cheering us on here tonight. It's our first night back, so we're all happy to be here.
Also, I'm glad that my mic is working up. I want to tell you that, Jap, he has a master's degree and he is a community advocate. He's always, when there is a problem, he's always right there. And I'm so glad that he is also supporting us in all our endeavors. All the things that I do, Jap is always there and always ready to put his his heart in all of this in our community. So thank you very much. He's not only checking out the India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh, but he is Mr. International. So, thank you, Jab.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
He's a well-known face in the entire community of New York and maybe outside of New York too.
Hopefully for good reasons.
Yes. There's a lot of things that's going on in our community, and I want to start by, let's talk a little bit about in Guyana that we had, and I want all of you to give your perspective on things that happened. We had in Guyana a couple of weeks ago, 4 children died, and I got to tell you, good-looking kids, peers, boyfriend, girlfriend. I heard one of them had they already bought their house and so on and was going to get married. 17 years old, 19 years old, 18 years old, 19 years old. And there is a lot of things going on in Guyana with accidents. You are a driver. I've been driving for over 30 years. You've been driving, Miss Brown Sugar. I know you always blush when I say that. But tell me something, Jab. What's your perspective? How do you look at this in terms of drunk driving, speeding? And I know that you do a lot of driving too. So what's your take on all of this? That so many young people are drinking and driving and speeding. What's your advice?
So this is actually very personal. I still remember when I was in high school. I was 16 and went to John Adams High School. 3 of my classmates actually were drunk, drinking and driving. Two passed away.
Oh, wow.
And that was a very, and at 16 years old, you don't really know much because I didn't drink, so I didn't know how that felt. But knowing the pain that everybody around you that is left in this world has to face and has to be in after you're gone, that to me is a big thing. And now in just the Sikh community, the last 3 months, we've had 3 or 4 different separate instances where young people have been caught drinking and driving, and unfortunately now one is locked up for about 25 years. He and unfortunately 2 lives were lost, right? And so it's not only about the person that we lose or it's a survivor, but it's who are we impacting when we get behind the wheel. As a professional driver, I've been driving. I got my start in my career. I would say like my first job was driving TLC as a 19-year-old, and I remember I felt like the car was about to crash because of how fast they go when a drunk driver was driving. So I think like we also need to take into account who are we putting in danger. Yeah, we are putting ourselves in danger, but everybody else that's on the road is also in danger when we take that kind of consequence. So in my mind, for any young person watching this, just take an Uber, man. There's so much resources out there. You can call a taxi, you can take an Uber, Lyft. There's so many options now where instead of just putting your life in danger, you're also putting the lives of loved ones in danger because they're the ones that have to respond to the consequences. If you say you're a survivor, you'll be in jail, but your family's in misery, right? If you die, your family's in misery, right? So, I think we need to just make better decisions as young people, but we also have to give them resources to let them know, listen, for young men especially, sometimes we want to be alphas, right? We want to be like, okay, you know what, we can drink and drive to show up to a woman or other friends, but creating a safe space to let them know, like, no, you don't have to do that, and it's okay to just be like, you know what, I'm going to be responsible today.
Right.
But there's not enough of that.
Guys, the sad thing is that most of the time, the drunk driver, nothing happens to him. It's the person, it's the innocent people who are not even drinking are the one who ends up.
That's what happened in my high school situation. The driver survived. But guess what? Now he has to live with the fact that 2 of his best friends died, and he was driving. And then on top of that, his own family, and consequences that society gives him as well.
The thing is that the children now, these days, they should know drinking alcohol impairs your brains, your coordination. It's so bad that right now there are so many options. You have friends that do not drink, have a designated driver, and you can call an Uber, as Jab said. It's not no big deal these days to call a driver, have an Uber, or just call a sober friend. Call a friend who can come and get you. And if you're having parties and you're drinking there, have a designated driver as well. And the people who has the party and they're serving liquors, make sure that you tell these people when they're leaving, they need to go with somebody sober driving the car. You want everybody to reach home safe as well.
Correct. Also, before I forget, I don't like to leave people out. I want to say thanks to all our viewers who are watching. We got quite a few people. Also, we have Miss Yvonne in studio. She's sitting down watching us. Thank you very much, my dear. I also want to send out special hello to my boy, Roger Singh, and his wife sit down on the sofa watching us. Thank you very much, Roger. I love you like bacon, saltfish, Jamaican style. All right? Thank you very much, my brother, for all your love and support.
Make that ackee and saltfish
ackee and
Jamaican.
saltfish, right, Jamaican style. And let's talk to Ramola a little bit. Ramola, you are a mother, and what's your take, your advice on all these young people who are drunk, drinking and driving, and speeding and being reckless on the road?
The only thing you're early for is your death. Today I was scrolling on Facebook and I came across Inder Sept Facebook page, and she put up her son's grave, and I saw there's beautiful flowers there and a tin of Sprite, and I started to cry. Why I cry? My thoughts are, wherever this woman go and she see a tin of soda, Sprite, Coca-Cola, whatever it is, imagine what she have to go through. So when you make irresponsible decisions, you're not only hurting yourself, you're hurting so many lives. Your friends, your loved ones, and the people that you come in encounter with. So I sincerely beg of you as a mother, the only thing you're early to is your death. Don't drink and drive.
Also, I want to talk about a lot of times we in a vehicle with our friends and our family, they are drinking and driving or they're speeding. We have a responsibility to let them know, listen, cut down on your speed or don't drink and drive, if you know what I mean. So that's one hot topic we talk about. We're going to talk, and guess what? I wanted tonight to be just a chit chat with all that's going on in our community in Guyana. Now, let's talk a little bit with Chap.
On the drinking, I just want to say it's illegal to drink and drive. And in the United States, there's so many accidents. There's so many accidents that, like, I think like 2 persons die every half an hour in accidents. So it impairs your thinking, it impairs your brains, it impairs your coordination. Don't do it. If you want to drink, drink at home, catch your bed, and sleep it off.
But alcohol doesn't have to be the answer to every fun. You can go to a party, you don't have to indulge, especially if you're in school.
Correct.
It's not the answer to every situation. You can have so much fun without drinking. When you drink, you spoil the fun, actually.
Okay, can I say something about this? I feel like, and just to kind of piggyback off what Ramola just said, I think a lot of people resort to alcohol, drugs, or whatever it may be because of lack of purpose. I think you find fun when you have purpose, right? Like you wake up every day, you're like, you know what, I'm about to wake up and serve humanity. I'll have my radio station. You have purpose. You have purpose in all the charity work that you guys do. Sherry, wake up, feeding tons of people, right? I feel like this generation, my generation, is very lost. They have no sense of direction and they have no sense of purpose. And I encourage everybody watching, young people especially, find your purpose. When you find your purpose, drugs, alcohol, addiction, that's not in the way no more. So I think, you know, that's really the problem in our generation. We have a bunch of people who's walking around, but there's no purpose, no direction.
Yeah,
Very
get involved in the community affairs. There's so many people that need volunteer at the senior center, volunteer at the with Sherry at the food giving out, the food pantries. There's so many things that you can make a purposeful in your life. And if you have purpose, your life will have a purpose. You will, you will come out winning in the end.
And you know, the bad thing is that what I find now is that this alcohol thing is going into everything. Somebody dead, you drink. Somebody getting married, you drink. Somebody get pregnant, you drink. Somebody pass the exam, you drink. Like everything, you drink. What about you come home and have a good time with your family and enjoy life at its best? Because not only you're causing problem for someone, and we're going to talk a little bit about some of the things, how it affect your family, because the truth of the matter is you may take a breadwinner, you may kill a breadwinner for the family, and then you have a whole family that's getting a hard time in life.
And the grief of the parents or the family, that's never going to end. It's never going to go away.
Right.
The loss of a life is always, that's why with the girl from Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, I think it is. John V, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I was very glad that I was invited, and that was Saturday in Jackson Heights area. Jap invited me to go cover that story. But what bothers me is that, and thank you very much for including me in your plan. Yeah, absolutely. But I was surprised, and this incident happened so long, and only now that we are hearing about this. But Jap, so go ahead and talk about what happened. Why were we there on this Saturday at the vigil?
So it's a very emotional and devastating story because I think we all know a John V, or we are one, right? We come to this country with great hopes and aspirations that we're gonna grow up and become what are a successful entrepreneur, engineer, doctor, lawyer, whatever it may be, right? So you have this 23-year-old young woman who was the breadwinner of the family. She belonged to a single mother that was living in India, and she was 8 months away from graduating with her master's degree at Northeastern University.
Right.
So technically her life didn't even begin, right? Because you really kind of really understand life after college or after school. So you have this woman, she was about to cross the street, and you had a speeding cruiser, a cop car driving, and I think they were on a pursuit for another crime. So they were over speeding. I think it was
74 by
they were definitely over 70. But from what the original reports were, like they didn't go over 50, right? But this
74.
what they had said at that time in January. This recent report is when we found out it's over 70. And another thing is the original report said that she didn't go flying, but the new report said she went I think it was like
100 feet.
Yeah, it was insane. So the impact was very devastating. Then you have a public servant, someone that we look up to or rely on, or when we are in danger or in need, we call these people to help us. It's joking and saying, "Oh, she had no value. Oh, just write her a $11,000 check," meaning a life costs $11,000. Essentially, was what you're saying. So you have a young woman, she's dead. She was gonna be the breadwinner of the family. She was an international student. She's an immigrant woman of color. $11,000 is the number that you put on her life. And I want to take it a little deeper. Every time we hear police brutality or a public servant doing something bad to a civilian, we never hear what they think or what they have to say about it. We just hear a generic apology, or we see it on their Twitter handle. This is the first time that we hear a public servant how they really felt about the regular human being or a civilian that they're serving. So to me, it's like, wow, like if this guy was the vice president of the Union of Seattle. So if this is what the vice president on the other side of the line was the president of the union. So if this is what the leadership is thinking, to me, as a person that does community work, I'm like, what does a regular cop think of us? Mm-hmm. If this is what your leadership is kind of projecting, what is a regular cop that is in the community every single day? We say hi, bye, the cross guard. What do they think of us? So, for me, even though she may not have been from my faith or part of India where I am, to me as an American, as a South Asian, as an immigrant, I felt like it was our obligation to connect and unite to raise awareness. And that's why I think this was such a viral story, because this country is made up of immigrants. And if this is how our public servants really think of us, then we need to really think of who we can trust and who we can't.
And this
Are we
is a
safe?
23-year-old child, with her future ahead of her.
She represents all of us.
What
It's very
bothers
sad.
me too is that to know that the police said that's a regular person, and she doesn't have a lot of value. It struck me because $11,000, and that someone can tell you that just give her $11,000, give them $11,000. Since when our life has a value?
Oh, yeah.
And what makes you
A
think
price.
that you can put a price tag on me? Because if you ask me that I am valuable for my wife and my family, you know what I'm saying? I may not have a value for somebody else, like the police officer, but we all have we all have family, and that mother that's in
That
was her world.
That's it. That was it.
her world gone. Her world crushed down.
And we don't know how much loan she took. We don't know what she invested into her child. Because people sell their land, especially if she's from India. They sell their houses, land, everything is probably on loan, right? So we don't know how much she's in debt now, and now she has to live with the reality that her only daughter is no more. So.
Wow. What's your take, Ramola?
I think a mother should not have to bury her child. And I see so much of this happening in murders in so many ways. It's a beautiful world we are in, but people need to change their ways.
Every one of us, we have a value. and we are very valuable. And if any police officer is watching, and we are not here to.
I break
anyone
up. My
down.
daughter is 18 years old, and I cry when I read that. Dr. Devika sent me the article. I cried.
Look, police
know-
officers are a very crucial part of society, and we actually just came. The commissioner of NYPD just had a breaking bread. We support good cops and good law enforcement because we need that. We escaped our country, or we left our country because we know this is law and order here. I mean, at least that's what my family did, right? They were killing my people back home. So we're here for a reason. But to know that our public servants and people that are supposed to be taking care of us, this is how they think. This is why there's so much distrust in law enforcement and civilians. And when things like this come to surface, it doesn't help that at all. So those cops need to be, they're not only reflecting themselves now, they're reflecting the entire force, which is unfortunate, but they are.
It's very sad. No, it's very sad that they give so little for a human life, and then the thing is that they joke about it, and it wouldn't have come to the public attention if it wasn't because he forgot to turn his body cam off. Otherwise we wouldn't have known about what happened there. So it was a good thing sometime that happened. I mean, it was a good thing that he forgot that. So now everybody becomes aware. Sometimes, they're good cops, they're bad cops, they're cops that help the people. And it's sad that they have to get a bad name too because of some of these, I won't say heartless cops.
I think the plan of action should be now, the fact that he turned it off, I would love to know what the rest of that conversation was like. So I think every public servant should have a recorded line, 24 hours, body cam 24 hours, anything that allows the public to know what they're thinking and saying, because at the end of the day, they're paid through our taxpayer money. So I would like to have more tabs on public servants, because not just cops, but elected officials, other people that serve us, they should be monitored much more closely, especially in legal cases, because that's all evidence, as to if you can convict someone for a crime or whatever it may have been, So say that cop is like a drunk driver, for example. Say that the cop that initially ran over Johnny, if he was drunk, for example, all this would have been evidence. He could have been convicted of something much like murder, right?
Right.
So it matters.
So I know that you are going to keep abreast of what's going on with this story. There's another hot button story that I want to talk about. I bring up my piece already, and guess what? I would keep my little piece for the end, because I have two Hindu people here from Guyana, and I have Jap. I want to hear what they're going to say, and I will make a nice summation. Now, both ladies, we heard in Guyana, and we see on internet was on fire where the Chinese restaurant had with a bag, and on the bag itself, it had the Om sign and so on it, and they were selling chicken wing or Chinese food inside of the bag. Mr. Radhika Olarti, if you get me very professional now, what's your take on this bag business?
I think putting chicken in, I think it was ignorance on behalf of the restaurant owners. I think there were foreigners there and they are not aware of the importance of the Indian symbols and the deities. But I truly believe that these bags shouldn't even be produced. They shouldn't be making these bags with the photos of deities and of religious symbols. Because even in the mandirs, if you give mahambog, if you give out parsad or whatever in those bags, what do people do with it? They scramble it, they throw it into the garbage, they walk on it, they throw it to a corner. So I think the first thing that they should look into is stopping that production of Hindu deities on any bags. There was a before, not too long ago, when people, just for the sale of things, they were making bathroom rugs and bathroom accessories with the Lakshmi Ma, with our deities as well, which is a sacrilege, it's no respect. But I think these people, the restaurant owners, they apologized, and
Go ahead.
they apologized, and I believe that They were not aware of what they were doing. They did not have bags, so they just used whatever bags they just used whatever bags they had handy,
Right.
not knowing that it was a sacrilege.
Good. So let's hear, Ramona, what's your take on this, all of this? Now, we got to be very careful how we put over this thing in our argument because, we don't want anything to come back and bite us anywhere. But we will be responsible. What's your take?
As she said, it's ignorance. And I'm totally against the manufacture of the bags. My concern about this young girl that working in the enterprise, the chicken enterprise, the way, the manner, everybody bash her on Facebook. That's somebody else's daughter, that's a young girl. She's just working there. In New York here, many kids come out of school of all colors and they work at KFC and McDonald's and Wendy's and a lot of things happen at these workplaces and we would not like our children to be bashed like that. I think this should be addressed to the company itself and the bag and not the young woman personally. People call her uneducated, idiot, all these sort of name. Poverty is a real crime and people are bringing causes them not to have a proper lifestyle, proper education. And poverty continues when a person is not educated or to work and achieve their goals. And it's a real struggle for women in this world. And this young woman out there, I feel badly for her. Honestly, my take about it is not about a plastic bag and Persad bag and religion anymore. It's about humanity. This is Ma. This is a daughter. We talking about Durga Ma on a plastic bag, and when this is somebody else's daughter, isn't she a Kanya? Isn't she Durga Ma herself? My concern is about a young woman, and I'm very much annoyed about that.
No, we could get a different perspective because my brother here is from India. He's from the heart. What's your take?
First and foremost, I want to, kind of piggyback on the points that these wonderful women have made. I think it's deeper than just the religious signs on bags. It's about humanity. So, no, thank you for that take. But if this was India, man, can I say what?
Yes.
Man, those restaurant owners will be in very big trouble, man.
Yes.
I'm very big trouble. I'm talking about physical torture, any kind of thing that you can think of. They'd probably, not just the Hindu faith, but even my faith, right? It's religion we don't play with. We do have, in Sikhism, we do have a leadership group from Akal Takht that would deliver a statement, but the regular civilians that are in the area, they would condemn it right away and make sure that those restaurant owners change their ways as soon as they can, or they will make sure of it. Yeah. So, not the right physicality is not always the right approach, but again, religion is something that in my faith, I know in Hinduism as well, is something you don't play with.
Well,
The girl was the one who stepped forward to say something about what really happened. And I don't think that should have been her place as an employee. It should have come from management. What they're saying, the people, I don't know if they're Chinese or from a different background and they weren't aware of what they were doing.
But wouldn't, if they're Chinese or from a different faith or culture, when they're moving to Guyana to open up this business, in my mind, I'm sure they know, it's a very big country with faith and Hinduism and even Islam. It's a faith.
Multiple religions.
Exactly.
So putting forbidden things that we don't consume in our faith in a bag and serving it, I just would think this is. I know you guys are saying it's ignorance, but I feel like they have to know.
Disrespectful.
Maybe they just thought it was a great marketing tool. That's what.
This is my take on how I look at things, right? Because, I mature now. I look at things in a different way. Probably a long time I would crucify her if you know what I mean. But you know what? We have to respect everybody. We have to respect everybody's religion, and it's a good thing to to do the right thing. But here it is. And I want to share a story with you guys. And it's a Chinese man, coming into Guyana. I don't know if he knows to speak any English. I don't know if he knows, culturally how about Hindu, Christian, Muslim, and all these kind of things. I'm gonna tell you a story. When I was a young nurse, I call in Guyana. We call people like this sometimes. We do like this. Come here, and I did this to a Filipino person, and they were so insulted that I was surprised. That little thing like this. I mean, but then, and that's why it's important that we learn different people's culture and we know what's going on. They go there, we expect them to. But then, as Ramona was saying, and we had a conversation about this, when and I always tell my co-host, I want us to be in a different place. We are trailblazers in our community. I never really say all of this. We are, people say, Ken, you're a public figure. I don't know about all of that. What I know.
We do, though.
Yeah. So, but my thing is that, listen, I want to walk the walk and talk the talk. I don't want to say I'm not going to hurt this one and that one, but then I'm going to go on Facebook and I'm going to bash someone. No, I always want to look out for the poor, the underserved. When we do these and I'm just, please, guys, if you're listening, it's just thoughts coming to me. If we want peace in the world, we want our children not to struggle, then we don't need to bash people. I think, in my opinion, it would be nice. I don't know what happened. Like I said, in the background, I don't know what went on. I know it was wrong what she did, but then, and you could tell from this girl talking, it's not like, you could tell that she was not too educated.
Life is hard. Life is hard for a lot of people.
I want to say what Radhika said, is that she was ignorant. And when I say ignorant, you have to really realize what really ignorant means. Is that you don't understand, you don't know. Is that, you know what I'm saying?
Means you don't have the knowledge.
No.
Right, exactly so. So when you say ignorant, it's not a bad, but the person doesn't know what's going on. So I hear people call her all kind of names. I don't know the ramification of calling her bitch, cuss her out, pull her down, drag her through the streets. I don't know if she's going to be depressed. I don't know if she'll want to kill herself. So we have to be very mindful. I'm very mindful what I post on Facebook these days. I don't post, I try to uplift people, but I don't fight with nobody. I would go in and, I'll be honest with you, listen, my co-host will tell you that I would go in a shout box and somebody tell me something and I cuss their ass out, excuse me. And Radhika was laughing, but somebody was trying to pull me down. I said, no, you're not going to pull me down like that. But to go on a public forum and pull somebody down, it's not inside of me to do. So that's where we go. So let's be very mindful of what we do on Facebook. Let's because the truth of the matter is, let me get passionate a little bit. I cannot made so much damn mistakes. We all do make mistakes. I am going to be 60 next year, and God damn it, I still make some mistakes. And I lay down on the bed sometime and I said, Jesus, how did I make this mistake? How this happened? I am bright, I'm brilliant, I know this, I know that, but still I make mistakes. And that's why when we make mistakes, or our children make mistakes, how do we want people to treat us when we make a mistake? Let's put ourselves in other people's position and see how they feel. I hope that tonight we menting a little bit with love. Remember, anything that you share on a plate, baby, if you share it with some love, we're not going to hurt nobody. What do you think?
Well said.
These days, people get offended for every little thing too.
Right.
You say something like, sometimes my thing is about making people laugh, making them happy, making them, put up a couple of jokes. And sometimes I'm amazed. I make a joke, it's a sense of humor, and people get offended by that. You have to defend a little joke.
And it's okay. Listen, sometimes people get a little touchy about things. That's why I am kind of touchy when I post. But you is the lady of the commit. Don't do it. You are our queen of comedy from Guyana. So you could do anything. You could say anything. Nobody should really jump at you for doing wrong because you the queen. You are brown sugar. But we're going to leave that at brown sugar because we got a lot of things more to talk about.
Yeah.
And I want to say something else. What do you want to do?
Let's do some shout outs.
Rock the boat, baby.
Yeah. We have here we have some shout outs here going on. Sahid Baksh, he said, no drugs and driving. Ditto. Shanti Chan, thank you for logging on tonight, my friend. Roni Sinanat, good night. Good night. How are you doing? You have good morning here. I don't know where you're calling from, but good night from New York. Hafiza Khan, our friend Hafiza Khan, dancing up a storm all the time. And we have Ariana V, my good friend. How are you doing, Ariana? I saw you made some good comments. I'm coming to them. And Michael Nalini and Nalini Naidu. Long time. Ariana V, good evening. We also have Farouk. Farouk, our friend, the Irishman, is watching. Shanta Flowers, Sheila Mangar Singh, good night. Shanta, hello. We have Ariana, she said, about the police, she said it's an abuse of power.
Wait. Let me say to the master blaster himself, DJ Harry is locked on. DJ Harry is a colorful DJ all over the place, but he keep rocking, baby. He take me out of character, make me y'all hear me talking now.
How did Jari's thing go in at work?
The Jari, I got to do some Jari thing. The beautiful Nafisa Noor, good evening. John from Queens, a very good evening to you. Shanti Chan, she said, bye. You know how to polish good story. Be no one hurt nobody feelings by. I tell you, when me dead, I wanted a happy man. And I got to smile when I did. You watch it. Shahid Baksh, good evening. The beautiful, sexy Marajan, Miss Victoria V. Good evening, darling. Thanks for your love, support, and all the donations that you're giving me. Let's see who else we have. Yes, I did meet Miss, what you call her again? Your friend. Ariana, sexy, right, so, got added spice to that. So
We should bring her on tonight. That girl has stories to tell.
I keep I follow her the other day, and I told her I'm going to bring her one day so that we could chat because she got some good life lessons that we can learn from. And it's a good thing. I'm so glad that I have also Raja Singh and his beautiful wife always give me love and
Shout out to Roger, man.
He's the
Yeah.
man.
Roger, man. He has me representing Emily Health too.
We all,
I gotta
we
sign
all
up for a
love
plan.
Roger.
Roger, right?
Roger and his
Yes.
You guys look fantastic with the sari, the gala you were going to.
The beautiful Shanta Flowers, thank you very much, my dear, for tuning in. And yes, we all make mistakes in life, so we must be gentle with each other. Let's see who we have. Shahid, thank you very much, Shahid. Elizabeth Lowe watching from Guyana. Vanita Chan is watching all the way from Canada. Thank you very much. Our beautiful Miss Nalini Naidu, thank you very much. Always looking, she's always looking sweet. I have to find out where she and her husband, where they really go and do them shopping because me can't look as sharp as them. We got...
They're looking sharp.
Oh God, them go cut Gilbaka. They go cut Gilbaka. You watch it there. Shanta Flowers, good evening. Miss Mangar, watching from Suriname. Good evening. My beautiful friend, Miss Debbie G. She said, bye. If I'm there near you, maybe in Taiwan, they'll keep on you. Well, thank you. Next year, save your money from now. Next year, that you can come and Taiwan nice.
No. You got to get it wrong. You have to save the money to give them.
She knows you're making the money.
Hafiza, good evening to you. Roni Sinad, a very good evening to you. And so, Joni Mahabir, good evening, my dear. It's a big up, Ken. Great compliments. My brother, yes, I got a song for you. I want to play for you and your wife. While I'm going to get a conversation, and my beautiful wife, Geeta Rampersaud, is here in studio. I went to pick her up. She made coffee for everybody. Thank you very much.
Delicious coffee.
Delicious. Alita Diaram, good evening to you. Roshan, you want more?
It's okay.
You could make someone from Alana, good evening. Kevin Boo, good evening to you. Thank you very much. Nafisa No, thank you very much. Rohini Isaac, good evening. Kamini, good evening. Sandra, good evening. God, Ryan, DJ Fest, thank you very much for fixing this thing. So now we can come back on the radio. Krishna Loughton, good evening. I took over this because I want to rush it because we got a lot to talk about. Nanda Prasad, a very good evening to you too. Henry Villa watching all the way from Irving, Texas. Greetings and welcome. Let's see, we have Alana, good evening. There is Dennis Lakram watching, good evening. Kamini BCSR. Now, let's go to this hot button issue, something else that that bothered me, and violence. This is the last topic really we're going to talk about, and then we're going to talk to the two young ladies who went get pregnant, probably 16, and we're going to talk about them. You know, Hatamali. Anyhow, we know a couple days ago, one of our young Guyanese girl was shot in the street right here in Queens on 101 Avenue and Drew Street. You know, when before I started radio, one of my first things that I did, and I stray away a little bit, was domestic violence and suicide prevention, which is always in my heart. And I hate when I hear women, I don't care what they do, but women are getting murdered, are getting abused. I always tell these guys, if you keep this woman when you want in sex, where you gonna get it from? If we keep killing our women, it doesn't make sense. But before we do that, before we get you guys get your thoughts together. I got them choking up in the studio here. Then I gotta cry. Ramola took her time. I know the president of Guyana is coming here shortly. In Wednesday, we all gonna dress up and go. Thursday, the president is coming. She took her time and she used her energy and
Her talent.
and she did make this PPP thing here, the shawl, and so shawl for the PPP government, and so she's saying that, you know what, since the president is coming from Guyana to New York here, why don't we all dress up in this red shawl, the PPP, and show some love and support if you like what the government is doing. And we want to make sure that Miss Ramola fashion and Ramola gets some credit, and also that she get the money that she spend, at least that she get back some of those money. She is not rich like me. When I say like me, no, not rich. No. She no wait. She not rich. She poor just like this better. Right? Wait. I nearly throw out myself there.
Listen, if you guys need money, come to Kenneth.
Sharon Fixer.
Oh God.
Sharon.
But
Fixer.
so now let me say this now. Let's talk a little bit about the incident that happened. Let's talk about the incident that happened right here in Queens. Who want to start first? Who have the guts to start first? You want to start first? You want the ladies?
I would like the ladies to start.
All right. What we do know, I'm not too familiar with the story. There were only snippets of it that I saw,
Right.
but there was the guy, and I think from what I heard, he was in love with her, with the lady, and wanted the relationship, but she was married. I'm not sure of the story, to tell you the truth.
Whatever it is,
But
he had no
yeah.
right to kill her.
yes, that's true. Nobody has a right to take somebody else's life. But I don't know how much you know of the story, but what I heard, they were arguing, and he just pulled out a gun, shot her, and then shot himself.
That's not the answer, guy.
But I think there was some kind of romance involved, but then again.
I think just addressing I guess the underlying issue. Forget what was their relationship, right? Just toxic masculinity in our community, whether it's the Indo-Caribbean community or South Asian community, is a big thing, right? We see it all the time. A sister of ours last August committed suicide after 8 years of domestic violence, right? So it's something that we've dealt with. I know you guys deal with. A lot of immigrant communities deal with. A lot of people of color deal with. So I think just like I said, even during when we're talking about alcohol prevention and stuff like that, just creating spaces for young men and young women to have a dialogue about what a healthy relationship looks like. A lot of these people come from broken households.
Right.
They've seen their father beat up their mothers, and that's accepted, right? I know a lot of people that unfortunately live through these situations. So I think when you come from that kind of family, you know, that leads to teenage pregnancies. That leads to men growing up with a lot of anger and taking it out in wrong ways. So I think like until we don't address that, the systemic issue, this is just gonna continue because you know it's not like population decreasing, all right? It's gonna as we have more kids in this world and they're born into broken households, this cycle is gonna keep repeating and repeating. So I think we need to get the underlying issue and address that first.
Excuse me. I want to say, listening to the whole story, of listening to what's on the words on the street, to me, they had some kind of short relationship, and this is what lead to this. However, you know, as someone who's a domestic violence advocate, I think, like Jab was saying, we should find ways in dealing with these kind of a thing. You know what I'm saying? Deal with our anger, our problems. Violence should never be the answer. And as parents, we do have a responsibility to train our children the right way, to let them know that, listen, if you got a problem, you talk about it. If you can't deal with a problem, you should seek help. There are so many people out there that can help us. The other story, you know, I always keep telling people that I value my life. I love my life. I believe out of so many sperm that I was the lucky one that reached my destination. There you go. And here it is, tada, Ken is there. You know what I'm saying? So
Fastest swimmer.
yeah, I was the baddest swimmer. I reached my destination and bop, my mother got pregnant.
There you go.
So I always,
I thought about it like that.
you never done that?
That's a great analogy.
Yes. So I value my life. And, you know, even Geeta and I have a great relationship. We don't fight, we don't argue. Sometimes she yell at me, but I stay quiet. You know, the truth of the matter is that we have to find ways and means how we treat each other. And there should be respect. I got 2 boys. And as a father, I want to start a new trend that, you know what, children live what they see, as you said.
Yes,
So they
that's
see
true.
daddy hugging up mommy. You know, they see how daddy treat mommy. They see the love that mommy get. If they hear mommy yell a little bit or daddy yell, what go on there, what go on? You know what I'm saying? So let us as parents, as uncles, as aunt, let us start, if we haven't, set the tone so we can eradicate, especially among our, and please, I'm just going to use this term, especially our Indo-Guyanese, Caribbean men. Let us stop this thing. Let's try to eradicate alcohol. Let's get high off of a life that we have. Because at the end of the day, I wouldn't want my wife just to be mad and sleeping next to me. I always choke her or bore her a Guyana style. You know, I don't want to go to bed because one of the things that I have realized, and I'm the preacher now, is that, you see, this life is funny. I don't know after this show if tomorrow morning I would get up or next week I will have a show. Ken was such a nice guy. Ken did this, Ken did that. So life is unpredictable. Another thing that irritates me and irks me is that you beat your wife today, you beat her tomorrow, the next day you get sick, you get a stroke, and then she have to come and take care of you. Guys, or if you in that abusive situation, treat your wife properly, respectfully, that in case that you get sick, your wife will take pride and share love in taking care of you. Ladies and gentlemen, Run with it where you want to say.
Yeah, I just want to say sometimes it's not only the women that are being
Yeah,
abused.
we know
We
that.
have men being abused if the partner. There's a lot of signs if they're trying to intimidate you, they try to terrorize you, manipulate you, blame you, manipulate you, injure, or anything is signs of being abused. A physical, domestic abuse, and it can happen to anyone, regardless of age, of race, of gender, your sexual orientation, your faith or class.
Psychological abuse, financial abuse,
Yeah.
verbal abuse.
Can I do a quick survey? I know we have a beautiful audience in the room and beautiful hosts right here. How many people in this room know people that have been divorced? How many people know a person or people that have been in domestic abuse situations? Right? How many people?
No, sorry to cut you. Let's ask them this question.
Oh yeah, let's ask the audience.
No,
Yeah.
no, we could ask them.
Oh.
We got 5 women in here.
Yeah.
How much of them, if they want to talk,
Yeah.
was in an abusive
Oh yeah, how many of
relationship?
you guys personally faced it? If you guys are, okay.
1, 2.
I was not.
So,
No.
I wouldn't want to mess with Radhika either. No.
so it's half and half.
Yeah, but what my point is, we all know someone that's gone through this, right? I have family members, unfortunately, that had to go through this, and as a child, it took a toll on me looking at it, right? So what I'm trying to say is that, like, as we grow older and we never heal from this trauma, you end up being the trauma, and until we don't resolve our own internal issues, which a lot of these people do have issues that are unresolved. If you ask anybody that's been through a situation like that, now, for example, a survivor of domestic violence, you think she will ever forget that? No, brother. Like, it's going to even take it to the next relationship. So there's actually help available that people just don't take full advantage of. And I think that's what we need to promote too in our community. For example, like the woman I was talking about last year who committed suicide, she went to the community, temple, leadership, work it out. It's going to be fine. Just give him another chance. You have 2 daughters. Just work it out, work it out, work it out. He's going to get better. He got better for 2 days, maybe 2 weeks, right back to the same thing. And videos came out where how he was beating her up. Like, it was so disgusting, Kenneth. And she recorded her live, I guess, like right before she committed suicide. She recorded it. So she was crying and she committed suicide right in front of her 4-year-old daughter. Now think about that. That young daughter of hers, you think as she grows older, it's not going to bear any kind of effect on her?
She's scarred for life.
She's scarred for life. And now she has a younger sister that's 2 years old. She may not have remembered what happened, but you think she's not going to ask what happened to my mom. So these things we gotta think about.
Yeah, we could ask Ramola, give me your input in all of this.
Many times abuse don't only be about the person that inflicting the abuse. It's a series of situations that causes such. It could be affair, it could be parents, it could be family members that instigate these things. And the person that is a victim and the abuser himself cannot help themselves. So I always, in all situations, including alcohol, family, 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 and I'm going to preach that the rest of my life, because I know with all the bad things that happened in my life wasn't caused by the person that did it. It's always a third party.
External partner.
A third party.
Mother-in-law or mother, somebody.
Third party have a lot. Family, family, family.
And what I want to add as a nurse is that there is a saying that hurt people hurt people. And I encourage people that if you ever was in an abusive relationship, or if you are a guy and you are the abuser, seek help, seek counseling. There is a lot of help out there. You have to want to do this, you know what I'm saying? So that you don't continue this kind of behavior that you and your children, your grandchildren, and it keep going on. But I hope and I wish that you find a peace in your life at this phase.
Oh yeah, you see how peaceful I am? My anger have been justified a long time ago, and I'm at peace with everybody. I don't have anger in me anymore. I was one of the people that would bash someone on Facebook. No, not ever again.
You've gone through too much to
Yeah,
get angry.
no, I don't have anger within me again.
It's 9:38
But
now.
the thing with, I'll say 8:38?
No, 9:38.
9:38, yeah. The thing with abuse, domestic abuse, is that sometimes they don't want to seek help or they don't want help because they want this sense of power. They want the sense that they can do whatever they want to you. They can manipulate you as you want. So they don't even see it as a
No,
problem.
they
They
themselves
see it
cannot
as a
help
right that they
themselves.
have to do what they're doing.
No, they themselves cannot help themselves. That's why I say family support. Family support is not only when you have a gathering to come together and eat and enjoy yourself. You should be there in sickness. You should be there in anger. We should reach able to call the same people we were drinking with last week and the friends and say, hey, I need a loan. Hey, I'm going through this with my husband or my wife or my children. The same people that your kids are calling auntie and uncle and their friends, they should step up. So I always say you need a village. The village thing, we still need it.
I can just
Go
let
ahead, go ahead.
my last point on this, right? And I think for parents especially, you kind of you see the signs, man. Like, you know, if say you say something to your son and his first instinct is punch the wall, you kind of
Yeah.
know something's up. If you know he or she is in their room as soon as they get back from school, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours, something is up. So I think the red flags for family members to identify and treat it and care for it with love and understanding is so important, because sometimes in South Asian culture, it's like, hey, get down here. What are you doing? Do your homework. Why you not eating? Like, you know, we don't treat it with love. And I think sometimes I feel like my generation is understanding a lot more, where we need to kind of be sympathetic towards each other, because I think just like hard love sometimes has a limit. And when you treat everything with hard love, sometimes the answer is a lot of pushback. So I think creating a space where people, okay, listen, Dad, I'm hurting. As a man, how do I go about this situation? Or as a woman, how do I go about this situation? I think those spaces are not available currently.
Sometimes
The thing-
parents don't know how to help them children also. That's
thing
why I
was-
said you need family support.
True, true.
The thing with life in America is fast-paced, and everybody has different schedules. And we've lost that touch of family intimacy, talking to the children, knowing what's going on with their life. We've lost so much with family values in that. And we need to try to bring those things back so that we have a grip on what our children are doing, help them along the way. And our Indo-Caribbean community, we don't believe in consultation, like go to the, the therapist. Go to the therapist and work out problems and all of that, which I'm lately learning. I've never been to one, but I'm lately learning that it does help. It works. And I think a lot of our people should seek more counseling when they're having problems at home.
Because of time constraint, I was going to play a song now, but let's forget about the song until the end. As we were talking about suicide, next 2 weeks I will be having Mr. Narayan Dad from Canada. I will be having a show next 2 Sunday from now, where we will talk in detail about suicide, depression, and all these things. However, because Radhika and Ramola have one thing in common, we can talk about it in. And when I tell people, when I was making this studio, when I was setting up this studio here, in my mind, this is a studio. It's no judgment. It's just love, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Share love.
Share love. So I don't want, and I will always preach, and I thank God for that in me. I've changed. And like Ramola says, you have to change. You have to walk the walk and talk the talk. And by the way, thanks to all the people who are helping me. I am meeting so many nice people. Lord, I'm getting popular now. I went to, last week I was walking the street. Hey, I know you. Where you know me from? From the radio. Today I was going into the park and to get a deal. This girl said to me, I know you. All right, where you know me from? The radio. You forget me? I'll be the start sometime. So that's a great thing. And I want to do, I'm glad people get to know what we're doing so that we'll get the support. We are getting a lot of support. We'll be sending an e-container to Guyana probably this week. Don't forget, you can send a little Dutchna for me or a little change so we could make a lot of people, the poor people, the underserved, those, my goal right now is to those who cannot walk, those who have amputation, who don't have foot. I want to make sure that they get a wheelchair. So I probably got about 8 wheelchairs or 7 wheelchairs to send to Guyana.
Apart from the additional Dachshund, we have a raffle going on.
Oh yeah, we got raffle going on, but I'm going to tell you all about that. You can always sell me $5 a ticket. I don't have the thing with me here, but guess what? $5 a ticket. I do Shanty Chan and so on. They buy Ashanta flowers. $5. And I'm getting sale is slow, but we're gonna
He's
wrap
selling-
things up.
Pick it up,
Guys,
guys. Come on.
He's selling $5 per ticket. I'm selling, you get 5 tickets for $20.
Yeah,
Call
she
me,
could do
please.
that too. Yeah.
And I donate a beautiful sari, perfect
Thank you
for
very much.
Shivratri.
Thank
I
you
know.
very much.
My daughter saw the flyer and she's like, I don't want the first prize. Let me get the second prize. So
All right, so we could work something up. Now,
Yes.
we know, and what I want to tell people too, before I come to you two young ladies, we judge people, we talk about people, we do all manner, and sometimes I talk crap about people too, but when I mean not to hurt anybody, like I would say, Radhika don't have time for me now, or, you know, or she busy, like
I've
those
heard,
are,
I've heard it.
like I say that all the time. Anybody
Radio
asks me, like people will ask me, Ken, like, you know, me and her did an acting together, and everybody crazy, everywhere I go, Ken, you and she did a good job. And I would say, listen, Radhika, I have no time for me now. Anyhow,
He's been running behind barrels and going to Jersey to pick up crates and pick up barrels and wheelchairs. So, yeah,
Yeah.
we
Anywho.
haven't made the time, but we have
Radhika's gonna
we
walk
have
the
it.
fashion show
Projects.
coming up too soon, right?
So-
Yes, there
so
too.
what I want to say is that let's be more, less judgmental about people, because the truth of the matter is, when I look around me, and I get a lot of problems in my phone every day, and where I work, it reminds me every day that everybody got problems. My head might hurt, your toe might hurt, Radhika, one hand might hurt, and we all have problems in life. None of us would get away out of this life without dying. We all will die one day. So let's be kinder to each other. Now, let's talk about youths. I know, Ramola, I don't know if you or Radhika want to start first. How was life getting pregnant at 16? And what had really contributed that you get pregnant? Did you didn't want, like, I'm going to start something like, oh my God, did your parents treat you bad, that you didn't want to stay home, or you just like this boy and you go, hit me with the digits, baby.
For me, it was lack of knowledge. I reached this boy, huggy up, kissy up, picking me up every day from school. Nice, you know. But I didn't know what was coming next. I had zero knowledge of sex.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had zero knowledge of sex. What gonna happen next? Nobody never tell me nothing.
You hear a story that pick me a fall from top. The
No,
sky.
no. We had catering kitchen, and myself and my brother spent all our time working with our mom to make a life for ourselves. So we never had time to socialize or get into anybody gossip or know what was happening besides what we were hustling to make a life. As soon as school over, you go into the shops and buy stuff to bring home and start our kitchen stuff to prepare for next morning. So my mom was in Trinidad and I picked up a boyfriend. But honestly, I didn't know what was coming next. I did not. And I heard this word for many, many years, your hat. And I still hear it, your hat. And those people that say such, it's an abuser itself. Because I was a child taking care of a child.
Right.
and my struggle was real.
What does that? What does that mean? Your hat?
It means
No, sorry.
No, we can wrap
it's a
up.
Guyanese
It's a
term for
Guyanese
saying
thing. For many years,
for
I
many
heard
years
that word.
that
And I used to cry a lot. And those words, like my friends know I believe in oil. I like oil. My skin is shine. Because it used to hurt so much. It's like stones being throwing on me. So I would take oil and I would rub my skin as I cry. And honestly, I still hate those people onto this day because my life was so dumb.
So, yeah. I understand. And that's why we got to go easy with people. That's why we have to be empathetic. That's why we have to understand, sit down and listen to people's story. While you get tear up, let me explain to my brother here. Let me tense thing down. When them say you had in Guyana, she a man, she one boyfriend. Had, right? Ah, good.
it
So,
just
Radhika-
means hormones are raging.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Sorry for that. Just
it's okay. No, we
No,
can-
no, that's all right.
So, Radhika, talk to me about you. Now.
Well, my thing was my parents were overprotective for one, but at the time, I was in love with somebody in Guyana, and they thought after school I was going to elope, so they sent me away to Venezuela with an aunt. It was a new country, and I was coming from a different environment, went to a different country, different people. My aunt and I butted heads a lot. You know, we weren't too much on the same table. Then I met who is now my husband. We worked at the same place. Money was an issue at the time for me too. So every time he would come in the morning, bring me breakfast, bring me lunch, and then after work he would take me home. We started going to restaurants, eating, and then things developed, movies and whatever. And as I said, raging hormones, I got pregnant. And then my parents, they stopped talking to me for about 2 years. Because apart from not marrying into my own race and everything, I married a Venezuelan, which was like I was one of the first persons to marry out of my religion at that time.
And you're a religious girl. You come from religious family.
Well,
Can I ask you a question?
yeah.
So liking this boy and going out, right? And now you're gonna have sex. Did you know at that time sex is what gonna make you get pregnant?
Yeah,
You
I
did?
mean, in the back of my head, I knew, but you're not thinking that it's going to be you. You know, you're not thinking it's going to be you. And then I learned afterwards, from the age of 10 to 19, is when girls can get pregnant. It's a 90% chance of getting pregnant, against 20 to 30, when there's only a 75% chance of getting pregnant.
I was going to
So-
school. I didn't know nothing until one day I say, Mommy, something moving in my belly.
Really?
Yeah, so when my mom come and she see it was a baby, she rushed me to the doctor. It was a baby. I get myself in so much trouble. I was on the labor table. Well, I never joined clinic. My mom never joined me clinic, and so like they were hiding the baby. So I was sent away in the country area and more to set a family member during the rest of the pregnancy. And it was very hard. It took a lot of advantage of me. And I was on the labor table and I didn't know where the baby coming out. I was shy.
Oh, poor baby.
Yeah, I didn't
Well,
know.
I was aware of what was
shy.
going to happen.
I won't
You
get
just don't
away.
think that it's going to happen to you. You know, you don't think at the moment. But my parents, what they did, I was 16 at the time, and they did send the paperwork for me to get the authorization for me to get married, which I had to go to the Guyana embassy and do all the work, and I was able to get married at the time.
Right. Wait. You know, we have to, because of time constraint. Vimala, I did say hello to you. I say thanks for everything. I see you in the shout box. My question to both of you. When you heard that you were pregnant, both of you that you were pregnant, what was your mindset that day? How you feel? Were you glad? Wow, I'm gonna get a baby. Or, oh my God, what did I did? Then? What's happening?
I feel
Despair.
ashamed.
You
I was
shame?
ashamed.
Ashamed, despair,
Yeah.
try to keep it a
Especially
secret.
when my boyfriend at a set time did not step up to the plate. So it was a lot of shame for me for many years.
And I'm gonna ask another question. I'm rushing through things. Something that's dear to me now. Going back then, you glad that you keep that child? Did you ever have time?
I had the same question.
Yes.
With my
Yes.
things alike. You glad you
Yes.
keep the child?
Yes. I grew with my son, so I used to play a lot with him. And I didn't have books, so I used to read the newspaper to him. And he would, when he gets to get older, he would ask about his dad. So I would lie to him and tell him his dad is going to college in America and you have to become a bright boy. So I used to read the newspaper to him.
Wow.
But I never stopped learning him, playing with him, and taking care of
How old
him.
is he now?
My son, he's 31.
You look
Yeah.
31.
Yeah, for
Let's
real.
rock the boat, Radical. You.
Yeah, it was never an option for me. I knew I was pregnant. I didn't never thought about abortion or anything like that. It never crossed my mind. I got myself in a pickle and I had to deal with it. I was, at the time I knew I had to deal with whatever. I had to deal with the family issues. I tried to put it off as much as I could. But my now husband, he was there. He was, you know, he was there. I reliable. We're going to be married 46 years coming next year. So he was. I was 16. He was 22. But he stepped up.
And I want to say too that Romola, she's a cancer survivor, so kudos to you, darling. You
Thank
still
you.
look beautiful. And were you at any given time ever depressed, or were you ever depressed where you said, "Listen, I can't do this anymore. I'm going to try kill myself, or I can't deal with this." How you? What?
Yes.
So it's okay if you want to cry. It's okay if you feel sad. We're here to support
So, my mom was very abusive after my son was born.
you. Oh wow.
To the last week of my pregnancy, my mom bring me back home, and I gave birth at home to the hospital. And she was very abusive to me. So when I was about 17 years old, I threw myself over the kitty seawall one day,
Oh really?
Wow.
and I was picked up by people. And the only thing that I was thinking about then was my son.
Oh.
But the abuse was so much from my mom. And family member and cousins would come to my home only to laugh at me.
Wow.
Oh.
And as I said, there was no support from the father or in-laws. When you see them, they would laugh. And even as old as I am now, when I see them and they like to do this, it's like it brings back some pain. That you guys didn't want me all these years, and even now you guys are like being this way. So anyway, I survive. As I get older, my mom ease up. The neighbors start talking to her. People get involved because it was a big seawall issue. I started to date when the first time I saw a guy body, I was old enough. I get opportunity to date a little, see life a little. Thank God I was never abused. I was loved very much, cared for. But then after many years, coming to America, make a back with my husband, my son father, and I went through a lot of abuse.
No.
A lot. So there was a time when I used to go down on my knees and I used to pray to God to take my life.
Oh.
2 o'clock in the morning, 11 o'clock, and he would be in his bed. And he'd know what I'm going through. And my daughter was a baby. But when my daughter born now, and it's a daughter I get, I start to have mental breakdown because is there anybody in this country that is responsible enough to take care of my daughter? Would my daughter go through what I go through? Am I in the same environment of the people who reject me? So I had 5 nervous breakdowns. And I want to say this because when I was going through cancer, a lot of my temple friends said to me that I was a bitch. I never used to talk to people in temple. So I want to make it very clear. I wasn't a bitch, that I didn't want to talk to you guys. I had 5 nervous breakdowns and words wasn't coming out of my mouth. So I learned to just smile and wave. So I started temple to have some peace and somewhere to go because temple was the only place I would ever go.
Oh.
And even to now, the only place I go is temple and hospitals. Temple and hospitals. So when you guys invited me, it's a big thing.
Oh.
And in society, there's a lot of people hate me because of what other people said about me. And they think I'm antisocial. No, I'm not antisocial. It's just that I have my issues. So I don't have the strength to socialize. I have to be protective over me. And from all of what I go through, I had a heart attack. Then cancer hit me. And now I'm suffering with 7 diagnoses, including a heart condition. So yeah, all I can do now is smile and wave because there's no promise.
You know, you want to say something?
No, what you just said. Listen, the amount of power that you have with your smile and wave, people can't even speak and generate that kind of power. So keep on smiling, keep on waving, because we are all here for you. And this is family that you didn't have before, so we are here with you through whatever you're going through. And everybody here, you know, I think that like Ken, you created a space for not just us here, but everybody watching, everybody that you've kind of crossed paths with. You have created a space of genuine love and protection. And I think if everybody just walked in your footsteps for a day, this world would be such a better place, man. So thank you for creating this space for us today. No, seriously.
Thank you.
Since I've known Ramola and I'm aware of a lot of her problems that she's going through, I have nothing but admiration and love for her. And you taught me lessons in my life that, you know, that have opened my eyes to a lot of things. And no matter what she's going through, there's always a smile or a word of encouragement towards me. Thank you for that.
The day I got my heart diagnosed that I have long QT interval, and the doctor says that you'll just faint and die without any pain because the heart is not beating, it's just fluttering. I came out of the hospital and I was laughing, Radhika, and I said, let's go and eat.
Yeah.
So
I remember that
I have a
day.
question for you. Vimala asked, I have a question. Because of what you've been through, what is your advice to the girl that is currently going through what you've been through? And what is one important thing that you learned from your experience?
Well, most times when these situations occur is out of ignorance. Ignorance meaning you're not educated or knowledgeable enough to know what your body is going through or to take care of yourself or to be protected of yourself. I have an 18-year-old daughter and I talk to her all the time and I explain to her in detail like what is sex, what a guy is looking for in a girl, and when you have sex, what happens to you. My daughter is a baby. She's 18-year-old and she's a baby. But I wish I had a mom or somebody to explain to me, don't allow no guy to touch there. This is what happens to you. This is a girl private. You close the cookie jar. But nobody teach me these things. I didn't know.
And that's why we're having these kind of shows.
Yeah, but I think the schools these days have an open sex education course, and
You know,
the children, I think they know a lot more than we knew at our age.
But that's a good and bad thing, I think.
It's a good and a bad thing.
This
It's
kid's a man. I went to Indiana. Sorry to
Go ahead.
stray away, but I went to Indiana just recently, and my nephews are in middle school and high school respectively, and they know a hell of a lot more than I did when I was in their grade. So, I think responsible sex ed is very important. Not just, oh yeah, I know about it, so I know what not to do. But it's also like what you should be doing and what you kind of should wait until you're adult. You know what I mean? You know, Ken?
I know, brother.
Okay,
you,
good.
you are a great role model. I always tell you that. And so, guys, Ramola, like I say, she doesn't have that 9 to 5 job. So if we want to support her, I will buy one of this from her. So
It's
please,
beautiful, right?
it's beautiful. We're gonna support her. Wait, I want to say something too, but you can sell the money, or if you just want to, whatever you want. She got $50 shawl, she got $20 shawl. So just support her with love. I want to say the story. It's on my mind to say. I think I'm going to. And Radhika knows. When I was something I was doing, when we were doing the raffle, and Ramona, we get a little misunderstanding, and I want to say this to how I have grown, and so we had some misunderstanding. I was like, Jesus Christ, this Ramona, I ain't ill with this, but then somebody else who supported me all the way, and up to now, I don't know what they were mad at me for. But I called Ramona like nothing happened, and we started talking. Listening to your story, Ramona, I just love you, and I will always support you. One of the things one of my fault that I have in life, I sometimes promise people things. It takes me time to do it, but make sure that is coming hard. So sometimes in life, I don't like give it the same time, but I got you. And then with that other person, and so we are friends for life. So there was another person I was at home, and I says, if I want to see change in our community, then I have to be that change. And listen, it takes so much pride out of me to do it. And I want to send you, I'm looking for the letter that they know that I wrote that person. I'm going to send you this without saying to them. We didn't talk, but I was getting all the shades. And so one day, I say to myself, she's a good person. She supports me. I support her. And this is what I wrote. Good morning. I know you're a good person. I try to be too. We are doing God's work, and we need to have coffee one day. No matter what, we should not let people get into our way. I honestly love you like family. And I send that to Radhika. And then she write me something else. She write a nice long thing. Through thick and thin, we are brothers to the bitter end. And if you are going to hell, buddy, I am driving the bus. Friends come and go. It's the one who stay 100% with you through thick and thin that matters. I was writing to you as well. She laughed. Wow, we still thinking alike. I miss you and our friendship. But there are unexpected moments that ruin things. But we will chat about that another time. We here now, and let's make the best out of each other day. I love you, sugar. That's what she said. Anyway, so I tell Radhika, I say to my wife, sometimes Gita doesn't understand. But I truly, the light is above me. I aspire to be a great human being. I fall short of the glory of God. But deep inside of me, if I could give my soul to anyone, I will do it. Go ahead. You guys take it away. I did a lot of talking for now. And Sherry is right here. I know. Listen,
Sherry's crying. Is that a tear I see? Sherry.
Sherry, and what I learned too from life, Geeta and I was having this conversation, and a lot of people talk in our community, but me, you, Tom, they carry patsy. And if I worry, I would not have no friends. And I said to myself, listen, I always tell people that Sherry is good to me. I know Sherry got a big mouth, but I choose to love Sherry because of her kindness, and I know that if something happens to me, Sherry will be there to pick me up. And I say the same thing with Radhika, and I could watch you in your face and tell you that, and I said to you, the people that I surrounded myself around, like you and Ramola, that I'm going to be 60 next year, that if anything happened to me, I tell my wife, call Jab. He will take care of business. I said, even to my partner, she will give me a good eulogy. She would talk about her partner like there is no other. I believe that in my heart. I know Ramola
I'll
can
dress
do a
you
lot.
up. I'll dress up with a beautiful sherwani.
You know what I'm saying? So these are conversations that I have. And while I'm alive, I let everybody know. And I said, I live an open book life. I say these things on Facebook. Everything that I say, I mean it, because guess what? I want to make the world a better place. I want us to be better. Like me, I aspire every day to just be a great human being. What's your final thought?
No, man, it's getting emotional in here, man. I love
That's
it.
all right,
No,
don't
no,
worry.
no. This is the
We'll be all right.
but this is the space that, like, I'll be honest, like, anytime Ken, Radhika, Ramola too. We just met in June, I believe, when
Yeah,
the tragedy happened in Guyana, and we haven't. I don't think we met before that. But the fact that everybody in this room, Sherry, Radhika, Ken, even Geeta, Auntie, right? Auntie's hitting. Auntie, look, the day doesn't look. She doesn't look a day over 25, right? But everybody has gone through so much life and so many tragedies, so many pains. But the fact that you guys keep kind of wanting to do good for everyone around you, that's really the essence of this episode and essence of this community. You know, a lot of our amazing leaders in the community have all seen hard times. And the fact that you can wake up every single day and take care of your own problems, and worry about the world, you know, that's a blessing that I wish everyone can once in a life feel. It is truly a blessing. Not everyone can handle that kind of responsibility. So thank you, my brother. Thank you to our sisters here, Sherry, Auntie, Geeta, everybody that's here today, for trying your best to make this world a better place. Thank you.
Before I go to Ramola, and I want to say this too, a lot of times we put the responsibility on people, or we assume that they like me or they don't like me. I want us to get comfortable enough to say, Ken, I love you. Radhika, I love you. Jap, I love you. I tell Sherry probably or Ramola, they probably think I'm mad. Or I will tell you, I love you.
I end up every conversation, I love you too. Like, yeah, you can ask Sherry.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So let's get comfortable in telling each other what we mean to you.
Now.
A lot of times we wait until people dead and then we go and give a nice eulogy.
Make no
Let's
sense.
start now.
Yeah.
Give me the flower now. Tell me how much you love me now. Don't wait until it's too late. Ramola, over to you.
So yes, I think people should love each other more, put away the animosity. Everybody have their own journey, their own struggle. I recently met Sherry at the Madia candlelight vigil. She and I became very close. I can close my eye and vow for her. And I respect you for your struggles also. And with people hating people, people need to start loving more. And when you disagree in certain situations, like you say, you and I had some disagreement, both of us call each other, right? Because people have to agree to disagree. And another thing, if somebody says something about each other, that doesn't mean they hate each other. But when you carry it back, know how you're carrying it, because you're the one that causing the problem. I would like to see love, just love among everyone. Life is too short.
What I want to say between the two of you, it was just a malinterpretation. You had to know that Ken is not too much detail oriented. I'm saying it. I'm saying he's not too much detail oriented, as most guys. Yeah, but he means well all the time.
Yes, yes,
And together we
definitely.
have such a wonderful group. They say
Yes.
groups of a feather
Yes.
flock together.
Yes.
So the group that we are in, we are all givers. We are all givers. We all strive for the betterment of the people, of the community. We all want to make a difference, a better life for our people. So that's why we always come together. No matter what, we come together. And old people say, your own teeth does bite your tongue,
Yeah.
right? You have conflicts with yourself, So um, let's put things away, apart. Let's let's share the love. And I want to tell every one of you, I love all of you tons, 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 and tons and tons. Love you guys.
Before you close, our president from Guyana is coming on Thursday, and many times people first thing going to say, "Oh, what is the president going to do for you?" Or we live over here, we don't care. You have family back home. You are Guyanese. No matter where you go, you are a Guyanese. You're holding a Guyana birth certificate, a Guyana passport. And whatever good you do and the support that you give to our president, you're supporting your family back home. You're supporting your birth country. And it's not what the president can do for you, but it's what you can do for your country. So I ask everyone that step out and show him your love, show him your appreciation. And these shawl, I'm not making profit out of them. I want our president to be welcome in a grand style, to say we stand with him, we support him, and we are standing very strong for the One Guyana initiative. One Guyana initiative because they are races, their countries are fighting against country, but we in Guyana, we are one Guyana. So come out on Thursday and support our president and support a shawl. Only $20. You don't need a shawl? Zell me your love. That's all I'm asking.
Tell
So
me your
thank
love,
you.
$20 love, baby.
$20. Zell me your love.
Before you go, Jap, I just wanted to, my cousin from Canada, Shanti Shivraj, thank you for logging on. John, we have a date on Thursday, I believe. Um, Vicky, Victoria, nice seeing you again. Sorry I missed your award ceremony, but I don't know who else I have here. I can't see. So every one of you, love you guys, and see you next Monday at 8 o'clock.
My last and short brief message, just following the One Guyana initiative, we started something called the One Richmond Hill initiative,
All right.
where we're trying to bring communities from all faiths, backgrounds, cultures, because, I think when you see a man with a turban walk into a room that isn't just surrounded with turbans, a lot of questions are asked. Why is this guy here? What's his motive? Is he just trying to take advantage of the community? And these are real things. I ran an election, and I want to make sure that these things are addressed. When I decided to run for office, it wasn't just to win. It was to make a difference. And one thing I promised while I was in the Mandir, Gurdwara, Masjid, church, is win, lose, or draw, we're going to be out here. And I think we've been out here. So we're doing a Breaking Bread event on Wednesday from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. with the mayor's office. And this is an open invitation to every single person watching. We do have a lot of capacity, so if you care to break bread with different community members, understand what they believe in, feel free to come out. The venue is King David in Forest Hills, and a lot of the mayor is expected to come as well. Hopefully our brother Ken, all the folks here come as well. 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Please come break bread with us, and let's continue building bonds.
I like to get a last talk. So we got Sherry in here. Sherry, thank you so much for coming.
Take your shawl, take your shawl, take your shawl, take your shawl.
Sher-
It says
Sherry.
No.
Thank you so much, Sherry, for your friendship and all that you do. Also, I want to say to my co-host, thank you for your efforts and for coming in today. I know you are Miss Busy Lady and me a busy man, so we got to try to do something, Romola, thank you. And thank you for sharing your story too. And I think it's important that we share these stories. Romola, thank you for pouring out your heart and to show your other side. And I hope that the world, because of what you said and all that you're doing, that this world will be a better place. To my brother, Jap, I love you like cook food, Indian style. Yeah, I said Indian style, right? So thank you so much and continue to be the great guy that you are. You're definitely a role model in our community. And I hope that you decide to come on the show more often because you have a lot to offer to our community. And I'm planning to see if we could do, and I'm going to put all of them on the spot here today, on Friday, if we could do a candlelight vigil in the park for those people who have decided, those who were, who passed away, who commit suicide, those who are hopeless and hopeful, that we can go light some candles for the lady too that passed, that was shot, if we can go and meet at the park and just, you know, just to show that we love and we care. So let's see on Friday if we could plan something. And ladies and gentlemen, we didn't get to say a lot of shout out, but thank you very much for your love, your support, and continue to support myself and Radhika so we could get to help the people in Guyana. I want to say thanks to all of, I was surprised the other day I collect $550. I got to tell y'all, I'm not hiding nothing. I just say, I need some money. People tell me. I'm like, what? So I am growing, and I tell you, I promise that it's coming from my heart, that the people in Guyana, those who are poor, those underserved, that they will benefit from this. And I pray that God will bless all of you who donate. Even if you want to donate and you don't have money, God bless you too still. And so one love. Continue to share love and appreciation.
Okay, can I say something?
Text us something.
We need to say happy birthday to you, all of us here.
Oh,
What
Jesus,
happened? How long?
It's a second.
But we didn't see you since.
Okay, sing it then. Let me hear.
Let's go. Happy
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ken. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. Anyway, I want to play this song for, you know, since I met Rod. Listen, I got to tell y'all that I am lucky that I'm meeting so many nice people. I go to the park and tell the lady, say, listen, I'm going to help you. I'm going to try to see my best. And everywhere I go, people want to be good to me. And so Roger Singh is one of those guys. And Roger Singh got a beautiful wife. I hear she loved me like cook food. So Roger, this song that I'm going to play now is for you and your wife. When the show done, go hug up she and tell she how much you love her. This song is for you, Roger, and
Next
the
to your
wife.
business name, say hello to.
You're watching From Our Hearts with Radhika and Ken right here on Island Zone Radio. Please do watch us every Monday night, all right? Let's go.
Natural beauty, you know. Yeah. No, I've never been someone shy until I seen your eyes. Still I had to try. Yeah. Oh yes. Let me get my words right and then approach you. Woman, I'll treat you like a man is supposed to.
Yes, and
You'll never have to cry. No. I know everyone can relate to when they find a special someone. And she's royal, yeah, so royal. And I want her in my life. I never knew anyone so one of a kind. No, the way she moves to her own beat, she has the qualities of a queen. She's a queen. Ooh, ooh, what a natural beauty. No need no makeup to be a cutie. She's a queen. She's a queen. And when they ask what a good woman's made of, she's not afraid and ashamed of who she is. She's royal, yeah, so royal. And I need her in my life. I of a kind until the night that I see your eyes. My queen, so supreme. I can see it in her eyes, the way she smiles. Hey, yes I know the king and queen crown, same time. So I'd never leave your side. Just stick with me through the trial times. Oh, and she says she no mind. Correct, I know good man is hard to find. And she can't about that giant line. That's why she has no ties at this time. Yeah, I know many men are trying, but she needs to be more than wine and dine, because she's royal, yeah, so royal. And I want her in my life. I never knew anyone so divine. No. The way she moves to her own beat, she has the qualities of a queen, so supreme. Ooh, ooh, what a natural beauty. No need no makeup to be a cutie. She's a queen, so supreme, yeah. And when they ask what a good woman's made of, she's not afraid and ashamed of who she is. She's royal, yeah, so royal. And I want her in my life. I never knew anyone so one of a kind. No, no, the way she moves to her own beat, she has the qualities of a queen. My